Alright, I'm coming back. In front of me I have my copies of the Maryland Fishing and Hunting Guides for 2012. First I'll go over the Maryland Hunting Guide. In it, in my previous videos I was talking about the price of the fishing license, the hunting license, and so forth. Alright, here's the page with license, stamps, and permits. In Maryland, you have to have a hunter education card if you're born after July 1st, 1977. Basically, this card is it states you're competent in the use of a firearm. You know, it's basic hunting ethics, basic history of conservation. You know, the purpose of fishing and hunting license, the purpose of the federal duck stamp, and so forth. I went and did my hunter safety course training at the Trap and Skeet Range up in Glendale. It's a public trap and skeet range that's run by the county. It's up off of, I want to say Soil Conservation Road. It's near Glendale, Maryland. Yeah, I got the windows open today, and there's a bunch of vehicles going by on 197. Okay, the basic regular resident hunt license, which covers most hunters, is $24.50. But as I was talking about before, you have to add on all these stamps. The Maryland Migratory Game Bird stamp for like waterfowl hunters is $9. Then the Federal Migratory Game Bird stamp is $15. The bow stamp is $6. Muzzleloader stamp is $6. Then you have the bonus antlered deer stamp. That is $10 for a resident. Non-resident is $25. And you get a fur bearer permit. That's $5 for the individual. Then you have a managed hunt permit. That's $35. That's if you were to go hunt one of those managed hunts on, excuse me, for example, Aberdeen Proving Grounds. That's the first place that pops to mind. Aberdeen Proving Grounds or Fort Meade, you know, someplace like that. Regulated shooting area hunting license this license allows you to shoot captive raised game birds on a licensed regulated shooting area. That's $6. Stationary blind sight license. Remember I was talking about duck blinds and the regulations for that? That's $20. Snow goose conservation order hunting season permit. Reading that directly from the book. That's $5. Man, I mean, this is crazy. And that's actually the end of the licenses for Maryland so far for the hunting. But it is crazy. As I was talking about before, they wanted to raise the price of a basic license up to $40. They also wanted to kick up the price of the boating registration fees. It's just outrageous what they wanted to do to the hunters here. But for me, though, all that applies to me is I have a regular hunting license and I have the fur bearer permit. As I said before, I don't do no waterfowl hunting. You know, I've read the regulations for it and so forth, but it's not something that is my cup of tea. I do like the fact that you can hunt waterfowl with dogs, though, the Labrador Retrievers and the Chesapeake Bay Retrievers. But it's just too much regulations for me and to be of interest to me. In Maryland, you do have to wear fluorescent orange, either a solid orange cap or a solid orange vest. Oh, also, as far as regulations and policies, they're trying to push. They're trying to push the guys that hunt deer and tree stands. They're trying to push for them to get harnesses. I'm trying to think of the word they use. Fall restraint. That's the word. Fall restraint harness. It's basically for guys that get up in the tree stands, you know, and they fall out. And they're saying, I think they were saying like 50 to 60% of the hunting accidents are related to falls from tree stands. But as far as me and my interest for hunting deer, you know, I just hunt from a ground blind, or I just sit next to an old oak tree, and I sit next to a creek bottom someplace, and I just wait for the deer to come. But you know, I mean, that's just me. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but that's just the way I hunt. I mean, if you look at all the old-timers, they got by just fine without these tree stands or blinds. You know, you can hunt deer from the ground just fine. Yeah, so I'm going to keep moving on, though. I'm going to get to the upland game, because that's really what applies to me. Well, forest game applies to me, because I do hunt squirrel. People say, oh, you hunt squirrel? I'm like, yeah, I do hunt squirrel. What a lot of people don't realize, though, is when you hunt squirrel, you know, wild ones, you know, out in the countryside, you know, a squirrel hear you step on a leaf or something like that, and he's gone. You know, he hear you step on that leaf, he's long gone. You know, they're run off into the hole in the tree or something like that. Also, I hunt rabbit. Obviously, I hunt that with Sparky. But when I got Sparky out there, he scares all the squirrels away. Like, he's just so noisy and, you know, pushing his way through the bushes and the briars and all that. So, every once in a while, I get lucky and, you know, I'll see a squirrel while I'm rabbit hunting, and I'll take him. But squirrel, rabbit, they're all good eating. I wanted to do some wild turkey hunting up here, or go down to Charles County, but I just didn't have time to do it. But I'm going to get around to doing it eventually, though. Some more squirrel hunting. Squirrel season runs from September 3rd to February 29th, and that's all counties. You get to keep 6 squirrels per day. Really, I don't start my small game hunting until the first hard frost. You know, that's an old wives' tale. You know, a lot of people do hunt, you know, before the first frost, but I always like to wait till at least the first good frost. And that's normally, up here in Maryland, that's around maybe the second week of October, third week of October, right around there. You know, it's starting to get real nice and cool and a good, you know, good crispy freeze. But it varies from year to year, obviously. Sometimes it comes early. Sometimes it comes in, you know, October, you know, the beginning of October. Sometimes it comes in the middle of November. But that's just the way the seasons work. That's the waterfowl regulations. Yeah, like I say, though, also with the waterfowl regulation, you have to have a HIP card. And when I was out at Laurel Lake, I was talking about the early resident goose season. That is from September 1st to September 15th, and you get to keep 8 geese per day. So, also in the book are tags. These are the tags they provide you for your tagging your deer or your turkey. They got an online check-in system now. Back in the day, they used to have it where you would harvest a deer, and you would have to check it in like at your local gas station. Like, for example, your gas station, it would be a check-in station. Like, you know, they would get the, you know, the weight, the measurements of the animal you harvested, its gender, and they would submit that information to DNR. But they've done away with that and went to more animated. No, not animated. I'm sorry, automated system where you can go online and enter your information in and check in your game. All right, I'm going to cut off and I'm going to come back with part 2 of the hunting. You know, just me going through the hunting some of the hunting regulations for Maryland.